morning. We're back in Connie's kitchen, and I have a guest, Elise Shire, the Oxford leader. I'm so glad you could be here.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, so we're going to do some cooking. So we'll talk all about you later, because right now we want to get a few things started. So first of all, unwrap this bacon. Let me get those out of your way. Kyle tells me I'm very threatening because quite often I'll be standing here doing this.
Yeah, I can see how that would scare somebody.
So, all right, that is 1 piece of bacon. Today we're not only preparing lunch, but we're also preparing for one of my private clients. And he's not supposed to have salt and fat and all that kind of stuff. But, you know, how long can you go without bacon? So that is actually a piece of unsalted, fresh, nitrate-free, not applewood, Black Forest bacon.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, so what I want you to do is take those scissors and chop it up. We're going to get that browning, and we're going to use that as a kind of a flavoring element. I mean, of course, here, let me get that out of the way. You know, Chris says if you don't have, you know, a whole pound going, it's not really bacon, but we're
Sounds like him.
A little bit differently. While she's doing that, we're going to make something that will serve as both a dessert for today and a marinade. And again, it's an experiment, but I've taken raspberries that I already washed, and I missed a leaf, and I'm going to add some whiskey. And I'm going to put this on and just let it sit there and simmer. And even though I'm not a whiskey drinker, I like cooking with whiskey. I have a fresh orange. And since I want to use some of the peel, get over there into that sunshine, you won't even be able to see it. Ta-da! I'm going to have you zest. Oh, you're very precise. Do you know how to zest?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and zest some of that. You want a towel?
Yes, probably. Thank you.
Now I'm just going to throw this on and let it get started. And as I tell people, it's behind us, so we'll listen to it. So this, as I said, is going to become both a dessert and a marinade for my private client. I'm going to do some beef kebabs, and it's filet, which is very tender, and some fresh tomato and red onion, and then the whiskey and raspberry over it.
Okay.
And served with
Sounds
couscous.
good.
Yeah.
How much zesting am I doing?
That's cool. Now cut the orange in half. And we're going to juice just half of it, pour the juice in. Cooked up some pasta earlier, so we'd have that ready to go, because sitting around watching water boil is almost as much fun as watching me chop. Oh, look at that. I didn't see. This is so nice. Usually I have to say, and now this is how the juicer works, and this is how the zester works.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought those were pretty simple items.
You would think. Perfect. Now we're just going to dump that in there. That goes in the old garbage bowl. And I'm just going to set this on a back burner and let it sizzle a bit while we prep a couple other things. Nope. There it goes. All right, now that's going to simmer. That's sizzling. So we're going to do some other things. First, we need to get this out. What I'm going to do is take the bacon out, but leave the bacon grease behind. And as you see, there's not going to be an awful lot. But it will be a good flavoring. Now, I know you're not a fan of onions, but we are going to use a little bit. And when you take onions, especially white onions, and you caramelize them down in the bacon fat, they get very sweet. So it's a whole different thing. And what you're going to find here is I don't waste anything. So I was chopping this up the other night for another purpose. So I just want you to take probably just about that much and get it diced up as fine as you can.
Okay.
You can use that knife, or if you'd rather use that one.
Whew. Looks intimidating, but maybe I'll try it.
Well, just remember to keep your fingers back. That's the important thing.
That's the goal.
I love that. You can go through things, especially potatoes and stuff, so quickly. Oh, that smells good. It smells really different than the regular bacon. And don't get me wrong, I love regular bacon, but I saw this and I thought that this might be a good excuse to try it. It is tomato season in Michigan. Ah, cannot beat fresh meat. I'm gonna reach around you here. It's always a good idea to mention that I'm going to do that. So what we're gonna do for you is very simple, and it's gonna be a one-pan dinner. And by the time, I mean, we're kind of talking, but by the time we're done, prep to table is maybe 20 minutes. So
Nice and quick.
Yeah, and your schedule is much like mine and my husband's. You know, you work all day, and then you want to grab something to eat, and then you've got a meeting to go to. And so it's nice to have things to hand that you can prepare quickly. And also things like this you can put in a container and take to work with you. Or you can come home later and eat it right out of the container cold, or you can reheat it. But if everything's fresh, which everything we're doing is fresh, then it's easy to have, you could prep a week's worth of meals in no time at all. All right, our berries are starting to sizzle and bubble. You smell?
Oh,
You smell
nice. Oh, that smells really good.
Does it smell good? Like I said, I'm not a whiskey drinker, but I like to play with it. All right, the bacon's almost brown. And what I'm going to do is I'll take the bacon out. We're not throwing it away. I will save the bacon. We will use it. And then we'll have that for kind of a crunchy topping. It's another good use for bad whiskey that you don't drink. Cook with it. And if you notice back here, there's not much now, but when we're having wine dinners, I have bottles of wine with this much left. It all goes back there and I cook with it.
Yeah.
So nothing goes to waste. Look at that. Looks different than the regular processed stuff, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Just want to get it before it gets too far. So I'm going to carefully take the pieces out and reserve what little bit of bacon fat we got going in there. And we're going to throw the onions in. So I will hold this while you throw the onions in.
Is that fine enough, would you say?
Oh yeah, perfect. I was told that Elise is not a fan of onions and garlic and such. And I said, well, I could stay away from the garlic or potatoes. And how a person cannot be a fan of potatoes is beyond me.
Yeah, I know I'm a little weird with that.
Well, I'm Irish, babe, so. So all I want to do here, see, I'm just letting them mix into that bacon fat a bit and caramelize. And even though I'm not standing on the heat, the pan is hot enough that you can see it's cooking it. Now, can you smell that?
Yeah, it smells really good.
Does it? Okay, and there's not a lot of onion there. I'll turn you around yet. All right, so we're going to get the meat started browning. So when we get back, the meat will be started. And see, the onions are just about ready.
Oh, that was fast.
Yeah, and that's on a hot pan. I'm sorry, so we'll be back. We just got chatting here. So we'll be back and we'll have the meat going.
If we want to improve America's healthcare system, let's start by improving the health of Americans. Despite the best doctors, hospitals, and medical advancements, Americans are not as healthy as they should be. We spend too much on treatment and not enough on wellness and prevention. We need a system based on primary care. When patients have a medical home and a long-term relationship with a doctor, the result is a longer, healthier life and reduced medical costs for everyone. Let's make America a place where health is primary.
Earth Hour, a grassroots movement born in Sydney in 2007, has seen 10,400 landmarks, over 7,000 cities in 172 countries and territories switch off for climate action. Together, individuals and communities have built a people-powered global movement to create real change, lighting up homes and lives with solar power in India and the Philippines, providing families with fuel-efficient stoves in Nepal and Madagascar, and helping communities get back on their feet after Typhoon Haiyan with climate-smart boats. We have successfully banned plastic in the World Heritage Site of the Galapagos Islands and planted the world's first Earth Hour forest in Uganda, a country losing thousands of hectares to deforestation every month. Together, we've made a lasting difference, but we must continue to protect our planet, our home. This Earth Hour, join us to shine a light on climate action. Together, let's change climate change.
And we're back. Elise is now browning some very lean ground beef in the same skillet where we browned the bacon. And then we threw the onions in, didn't even put them on the heat, just let the pan caramelize them a bit with that bacon grease, and then the meat goes in right on top of it. That's what makes it a one-pan meal. So, while Elise has her back to us because she's watching the meat, I guess I can't ask her too many questions. How about, well, we'll do this. We'll switch places for a minute. How's that? Do you know how to peel a carrot here? That old-fashioned hand peeler? I'm going to have this girl here a lot because she says yes to everything. All right, I'll take over here, peel that, and then I need it cut into chunks, so we're going to throw it in the chopper. So tell me, you've been working with my husband for quite a while now and doing really good work, by the way.
Thank you.
What brought you to Oxford?
Well, I just really have grown to love the community. I had started out with the Clarkston News, which is obviously a part of Sherman Publications. And so that's how I wound up finding out about the position in Oxford. And since coming here, I've been really just impressed with how friendly everybody has been. And so.
Now you cover primarily Addison Township, the schools.
Yep, Addison Township, Oxford schools, and
you do a lot of feature pieces too.
Yeah, just whatever happens to be going on in the community that, Right. Did you say to chop this as well? I'm sorry.
Yeah, just into chunks to throw it in the chopper. Here's our raspberries. Cooked down. We got a little bit of the...
Oh, that looks good.
Yeah, wait till you see what I do with that for you. So I'm going to turn that off and leave it sit there. So, bigger chunks.
Bigger?
Because they're going in the chopper. I'm sorry. It's a nice
like
thing.
that, or?
Yeah, or even bigger, because they're going to go in here.
I've never used a chopper.
I love my chopper.
It looks pretty convenient.
I'll tell you what, you can make sauces, you can chop things quickly, you can make large quantities of things.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're all right. I'm watching the blade. Last thing I want to do is send my husband's reporter back missing a digit.
It's probably a good idea. Otherwise, you might have to fire me.
I don't think that's going to happen. You notice she's doing this without shooting carrots across the room, which is what I usually do.
Really?
So we're just going to toss those in there. Go ahead. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
Because you have a fresh perspective. I said to Chris, you'd only been here a couple of weeks, and I said, this is a smart girl. She did her homework. You obviously read the paper before you started.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you had an idea of what the style was and what they were looking for.
Very, very local.
Yep. Well, and there's just a flow. You know where to put your lead. You know what people are looking for. All right, so that's in the chopper. And the blade won't go down now. There we go. So, big loud noise real quick. Okay, done.
That was fast.
See, that's what I mean. Even if you want to make a large quantity of something and you do it in several batches, I mean, it's great for salsa. You throw all your stuff in there.
Very time saving.
It is. All right, so see how I've got the tomatoes started?
Do it just like
Finish
that?
Slicing, yeah. And this beef is just about browned up. I don't know why I got that other skillet out. So, as I said, cooked up some pasta earlier. And as soon as I'm sure that beef is browned, there you go. So Elise and I were talking about books earlier, and I'm going to tease you a little about being a millennial. Because I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. But a lot of people your age don't read books anymore, don't read newspapers anymore. And we were just saying there's something about, and she agreed with me, there's something about holding a book or holding a newspaper. And you made a good point that I hadn't heard before, and it makes perfect sense. If your job requires you stare at a computer screen all day, and these days most do, You don't want to sit down in the evening and relax and stare at another computer screen.
Exactly.
Which is essentially what it is.
Right, right. No, I find my eyes are pretty exhausted by the end of the day, so I find it's easier to look at paper rather than stare at another computer screen, like you said,
Yeah.
so with the
Yeah,
Kindle.
definitely. And that makes sense. I was talking to Dan at the studio last night. He said, I've been staring at that screen for 5 hours. I thought, I couldn't do it. Of course, I used to do it years ago when I was in another business, but it is exhausting. Mentally
Gives you a headache
exhausting.
sometimes, too.
Oh, yeah. All right, so I threw some of the cooked pasta in with the beef. If you got the tomatoes ready, you could scrape them right in there. I'm going to throw some kale in.
These aren't too long, right?
No, they're just fine. There you go. Nice fresh kale. I'm getting so I like kale. If I use it with other things. It's kind of intense on its own.
Also, when it's cooked, it's better.
Mm-hmm. And that's why we're cooking it down.
Yep, yep.
And
Looks
there,
really good from here.
we have just about a finished product. Now this gets a little intense because I used a shorter skillet, but we want to kind of start mixing this down a bit. Like that. So I'm going to let you do that.
Okay.
She doesn't say no to anything. I love that. So you see, this whole thing is all about the one pan, and we're pretty much done. Do you like mushrooms?
Yeah, I love mushrooms.
Well, then we'll throw some mushrooms in there. See how I asked first, because if it were me, I made salad for the Rotary this week, and I used mushrooms. Everyone was terribly impressed. And like I said, just because I don't necessarily eat something doesn't mean I won't cook with it. Now, they say it isn't necessary when you're buying these prepackaged like this, especially with mushrooms, but I just think it's a good idea to give everything a good rinse. So that's what I do. You know, eventually I'm going to toss something over there and actually have it land in the garbage bowl. So far it's not happening today. But as I always say, don't worry, I've got a great cleanup crew. So when we come back, we're going to plate this up, and then we're going to do a little surprise dessert. Here we go. Toss this in there. There you go. Connie did mushrooms. So we're going to come back in a few minutes, and lunch will be ready. And I'm going to surprise Elise with a little bit of dessert, and we'll wrap things up. So we'll see you in a few minutes. How's it coming?
Just think, what if we didn't have local TV and radio? Where would I go for local sports, local politics, a mayor, city council, stuff that affects me every day? How about health? Who's covering things that endanger my family? I need to know now, as it happens, from sources I trust, people in my community. No agenda, no bias like you find on cable and social media, just facts. For news I can trust, I stay local. Support your local station. Text TV to 52886 today.
Abigail Adams here, just checking up on our springtime goat work on the Pollyant Trail. What's that? Trash on our beautiful trail? Oh, that makes me so happy. We've got so many trash cans all over the trail. It's a beautiful day on the trail, but oh no, this could end badly. Wow, that sure was nice. Folks know not to hog the road. Even goats share. Hey, that gets my goat. Where are you going? Even I have to be out here on a leash. You sure are a nice dog, but stay away from those weeds. I'm gonna eat them later. What a beautiful gift, our Pollyant Trail. I've got to hit the trail. I hope you will too.
And we're back because Kyle said we're back. So we're done. I mean, you guys, it's been 20 minutes from prep to start to finish. So go ahead. You're going to serve it. I'm going to serve it in bowls today. So go ahead and scoop some in there. And while she's doing that, I'm going to put together my little ice cream surprise. Now, we were discussing during the break homemade ice cream, and I said I would love to make homemade ice cream on the show, but it takes 12 hours. And although I know I have a very, very loyal audience, I don't know if I could get them sit through a 12-hour show. So maybe what I'll do one of these days is I'll go through the prep steps and show you how that works. So for today, some store-bought ice cream, but this is really creamy ice cream. Isn't that nice? Do you like ice cream?
Oh yeah, love
Okay.
ice cream.
All of a sudden I had flashes of her being lactose intolerant.
No, looks good to me.
All right, and now our raspberry whiskey sauce. I'm just gonna look at that. Just gonna go right on there. And I wanted to get this done early and let it sit so it's still warm, but it's not lava hot that it's going to turn the ice cream immediately into liquid. So while I'm doing this, I'll do my little spiel. I'm Connie from Connie's Kitchen here at Treetop Lodge on OCTV, Charter Channel 99. No, AT&T Channel 99, Charter Channel 191. I got it. Okay. And you can call me anytime at 248-933-4579. Hit me up on Facebook at Treetop Lodge Oxford or our website, treetoplodgeoxford.com. And you can email me at stormy3958@att.net. So, here we have that. And you asked about the bacon. And I think bacon goes everywhere. So we're going to put some of the bacon in here. And we're going to put some of the bacon in here. And she's looking at me like I'm just a little bit nuts.
Oh, no, I love bacon. Looks like a good idea to me.
All right, and then I'm going to dust it with a little bit of white chocolate.
Oh.
Because, well, you gotta have chocolate, please. Even if it's white chocolate, which strictly speaking isn't chocolate. All right, so you're a grown-up. You get to choose. Do you want to try dessert first or lunch?
I will try lunch first. I'll be a good grown-up.
Well, see, up here we don't have rules. If you want to have dessert first, you have dessert first.
Oh, this calls to me.
Now, we didn't put any seasoning. We didn't put any juice or anything because I wanted all the fresh flavors to come through. But you could see I could easily add garlic, salt, pepper. But I love biting into a fresh tomato. Look at me, I'm even eating the mushrooms.
Yeah, no, these ingredients definitely speak for themselves. They're really good.
Good. Well, and see, when you start tossing them too, you've got the juice from the meat, which there wasn't much because it was very lean. The residual from the bacon, the little bit of sweetness from the onion, and that kind of coats everything.
It does.
So,
I can actually hardly tell there's any onion in here. It's so discreet.
but it's part of the whole flavor.
Sure. Yeah.
I can tell you, if I made it again and left the onion out, you would notice the difference. So, yum.
That looks very good.
I hope so. So that's just the kind of stuff we do up here. Very simple, unintimidating.
Wow. That is really good.
And that was just the fresh raspberries, some whiskey, some orange zest, and some fresh orange juice.
Wow.
And we just let it sit and simmer. And then a little bit of bacon.
That's
and white
amazing.
chocolate.
And the bacon works too.
Of course it does. God, you know what else is great? Bacon and chocolate pudding. Or up here I actually make a chocolate mousse. And I put bacon in it. And one day, actually, I think on the show, I put chopped up jalapenos in it. Now,
Oh, that'd be interesting.
I can't do jalapenos. I tend to stop breathing. But I didn't tell anyone it was there, and everybody's tasting going, I love this. What is it? I love it. What is it? And nobody would have guessed jalapenos because you don't expect to find that in chocolate
No,
mousse.
yeah.
But then you've got the sweet and hot thing going, so it makes perfect sense.
Right, right.
Got the sweet of the chocolate. And in a lot of Mexican foods, isn't like chocolate, you have mole sauce, and the different desserts that people eat, the sweet after the heat of the meal.
Right, right.
So I put them in the same glass.
Yeah,
So-
nice contrast.
Yeah. Well, everybody seemed to enjoy it. So I should talk instead of eating. We got so much coming up. Scrapbooking, quilting, and you can pick your own dates for that. Just give me a call. We can do what we did a couple weeks ago, which was I called a flex week, and trying to get everybody together on the same days. A lot of times is like herding cats. So you pick out a span of time, and people can come and go within that time. They can come for a day, they can spend the night, whatever you want to do. We make it all very flexible within that time period. So you can hang out with your friends, but if you have to go to work, you're allowed to finish. You can keep eating.
Oh, good, because I was going to keep doing it anyways.
There's some more raspberry sauce if you want some more. And of course, weddings and showers. We've got stuff coming up in the fall. And before you know it, we're going to start looking at the holidays. People are already calling, making reservations for the holidays. So business groups, offices, family groups, you just want to get the call in early. I actually already have somebody booked their Christmas party for January, because they like to wait till all their other commitments are out of the way.
Right.
I think that makes perfect sense. Mm-hmm. And then they can all get together and relax, and they're coming up for dinner and whatever else. And they asked if they could play board games. I said, of course. And I have a group of ladies coming up that are just coming up to spend time with each other. They're not crafting or anything. They just want to come up and celebrate. They all have birthdays near each other. Mm-hmm. And so they're going to come up and do that.
Right.
So, like I've said before, I say it over and over again, the only way we're limited up here is we don't do noise. And we don't do kids, unless they're part of like a wedding or something. Mm-hmm. But we're not set up to entertain children.
Right.
Because grown-ups need a place to play too. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what we do up here. So other than that, we're just cooking right along. The shows go, I added up our views last night of all the views on the show, and I'd say we're viral. I mean, I'm really proud of our numbers. I love the feedback I get from people about it, asking for recipes, asking for ideas, making suggestions. You can call me anytime. We can work out the schedule. I'd love to have you come here in the kitchen like Elise did today. And I do have some more guests coming up. Ron Davis is coming, and Don Brantley, and Jackie Kalminer. So again, it's good because, like I've said before, I'm told that it's a lot more fun when I'm not here by myself. So I don't know who would have said that, but so anyway, that's what's happening up here. Just every day, busy, and loving it, and sharing the magic of this place with people. It really is a special place, and thanks to my OCTV family, because they just are continually supportive of the show and everything we do, and I have learned a lot. I actually figured out the problems with the sound system at Oxford Village offices. I can't fix it, but I figured it out. And Elgin can probably fix it. Now I guess it's just sound levels. Uh-huh. And that's all because of OCTV and you guys giving me a chance and letting me play with your fun toys and such. So anyhow, so we will be back soon because we are on schedule now, so we can keep our new episodes coming, especially our new viewers in our other new areas that we picked up. I really enjoy hearing a lot from them. And it's exciting to be hearing from Ann Arbor and Lake Orion and Kalamazoo and Grand Rapids. I mean, and they have a different perspective. We're all in the same state, but everybody has a slightly different perspective on things, which is really cool. So we try to hit all the high points there. And of course, our Oxford audience is just the best. And we love you, and we love the support. And you keep eating your ice cream.
I was listening to your lovely speech.
Yeah. So thanks for being here, and you are welcome to come back anytime.
Absolutely, yeah. Thanks for having me.
Good. Did I hide the onions well enough?
You did. Just the flavors.
Next time with Elise, we'll hide the garlic. Yeah. In the meantime, be nice to one another. Remember the promise, and we'll see you soon here at the lodge. You can keep eating. There's more raspberry.